that right there is what you call a drain carry. You see, as he was draining the water out, he's flaking it up, back and forth across his shoulder. So now he's ready to carry it. You don't have to bundle it up or roll it up. It's on his shoulder. He can make his way back to the truck. Once he puts it back on the truck, he'll go help someone get another section of hose, so all the hoses picked up and brought back to the proper apparatus. And it may be you're doing this with, this is an 1.5 inch, you may be doing it with 2.5. And Lord forbid if you have to do it with a 6 inch fill line.
Yeah.
And if they got 1,000 foot of that on the ground, it's gonna make for a pretty good afternoon. Does anybody have any questions on the demonstration of draining and carrying? All right, well that concludes our class tonight. We went over large diameter hoses, medium diameter hoses, your small diameter hoses, the construction of different types of hoses, and your water hammer. And then now we know how to drain and carry a hose. And that concludes our class. We'll step in here. I've got a written test and kind of an oral test that I'm gonna give y'all. And that'll conclude the lessons for today.
Cool.
Okay, so before we get started on the written test, I'm gonna give y'all kind of a little oral exam. See what y'all learned tonight. Can anyone tell me what small diameter hoses you use for?
Trash fire.
Small fires, brush fires,
Trash.
exterior fires,
Anybody? Doing that?
Car fire.
Car fire. Can anyone tell me what the L in LDH stands for?
Large.
Large diameter. Can you tell me what is generally on a bumper or engine? What's it called that's on the reel?
Boosters.
Booster reel. Booster reel is what they call it. And I'm gonna pass out this exam. Just fill in your name, date, and department. Top of the page.
Today's the 29th.
Yes, 29th. And then once you're done filling out the top part of the test, y'all can commence taking the test. done, we'll go over the answers, and you can grade your paper, and I'll double check the answers. Let y'all grade each one, that way y'all can see what you're doing, or if you miss one, what you did wrong, what you put down for the answer, what the correct answer is, and then I'll take them up, and then I'll grade them again. Just double check them. You hold them, I'm gonna grade each other. Is everybody done? We're gonna go over the answers real quick. I'll let y'all see what y'all did wrong. Put that wrong answer down, and you see what the correct answer is. Number one should be C. Number two is D. Number three is A. On the short answer question, should be interior fire attack, decontamination of patients, personnel, small exterior fire attack, and vehicle fires. I mean, matching, number one should be C.
What about the true false?
Okay, yeah, sorry, I missed over that. True and false. Number one is true. Number two is true. Now on your matching, number one should be C. Number two, A. Number three, B.
Now, trash fire would fall under small exterior fires, right?
Yes, trash fires will fall up under anything other than inside a structure is called an exterior fire. If you had an AC unit caught on fire, it's going to be toned out as a structure, but that's an exterior fire. Exterior fire. You don't need a big diameter hose. And that's just done when it got through to the inside of the house, started burning the siding and then got in through a window. But yes, the small diameter trash fires is considered exterior. Grass fire is exterior. That's another one. Is a grass fire is an exterior fire. Some departments use brush hose reels. Some departments have an inch hose set up as a grass fire hose. I've seen some departments rig just a regular garden hose, with the regular garden hose nozzle. Did anybody miss anything on the test? What'd you miss?
I missed the decon on the short answer.
Decon.
Yeah.
I missed number two.
And which one did you miss?
Number two.
Number two? There's a question on number two. I don't have it.
What is the hose diameter used by most fire departments?
Oh, yeah.
Put beads to it.
2.5. 2.5 is standard on. Anything above 2.5, you're getting into your field, your water supply lines, your field lines. Now, something I failed to mention earlier, 3-inch diameter hoses. Just you brought that up, and I missed that in relation to 3-inch hoses. They're more master stream. So if you have a master stream, a deck gun, portable deck gun set out, most departments use a 3-inch for that. Or 3-inch to fire connections in a structure or factory, usually 3 inches to supply that water system. I did forget to mention that, so my apologies. I did forget to mention that.
On that one, he had missed the decontamination of people. The only reason I put it down is because I just recently learned about it. Why would you use a fire hose putting that much power out on
On
actual people, and how would that not be dangerous?
for decontamination, you don't have to have any pressure really at all. As long as that hose is charged, you can set that hose up to be able to just be turned on and be like a shower.
Opening your nozzle.
Yeah, just open your nozzle. It don't have to have any pressure at all. If you got the pump going, the pump's usually gonna put at least 50 pounds of pressure. But by the time you get into this further in pumping school, the further the water travels down, you lose friction. You got friction loss. So if you got 50 pounds at the pump, you're not gonna have 50 pounds at the nozzle. So if you have 50 pounds of pressure on the pump and you have the nozzle set up on a hanger hanging over, you can walk people through there. Opening the nozzle is just like you at home stepping in the shower. It's not gonna be any pressure on it at all.
So when you're saying the gallons per minute, that is from the pumper, not from
Yeah,
the end of the
the gallons per
nozzle?
minute is what that hose is rated on to be able to pump, supply. But it also depends on the pressure set at the engine.
Okay.
The guy on the nozzle may not need 250 gallons a minute. And that's where you're gonna get into, when you get into talking about different stream patterns, you're gonna talk about different nozzles. You have a smooth bore nozzle and you have an adjustable nozzle, which you could have 250 gallons coming from a minute coming from the pumper. Say this man's on a nozzle, he's got an adjustment where he can knock it down to whatever, how many gallons he wants in a minute. He can get 125, 95, 85. It's recommended, 95 pounds PSI is recommended for a fire. You get into a real heavy fire, it's interior, you may want to up it to 125 gallons. But you can adjust the flow out of the nozzle in by the nozzle.
Okay.
So you may have 250 gallons coming up to the nozzle from the pump, but you as a nozzle man have the ability to adjust that nozzle to what gallons you want in a minute. So you're not gonna get the whole 250 out. You may set it down to 95, and the only time you're gonna need 250 gallons a minute is again on your aerials platforms. When you have to raise them, that means it's through the roof, the fire's kicking, and you need to knock it down. So the more water you have coming to you, the more water you're gonna use per minute to knock that fire down. So yeah, that's something in a whole different class as far as the 250 getting to the nozzle. But on decontamination, like I said, if you got 50 gallons, 50 pounds of pressure coming from the pump, you're not gonna get it at the nozzle because of friction loss. So it's not gonna knock a person down. It just, when you open that nozzle, again, it's like you stepping in your home shower, rinsing off. That's all decontamination is just rinsing off. So it's basically just like walking through a shower.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, well, I thank y'all for coming tonight. I'll collect these tests and I'll go over them again and get a grade on them. That concludes our class for tonight. Thank y'all for coming.
You know, we got a roll hose full of pulper.
Doing that?
We got a roll hose full of pulper.
Yeah, I hadn't even checked it